Hello, my name is Claudia Alec, and I am an intersectional inclusion expert, a performance maker, and a change facilitator, and a leader in my field. I promised myself I would make this video if I received a certain letter, which I received today, that confirmed some suspicions for me. And frankly, I'm super nervous about making this, because I'm confident that there might be a few people out there who decide not to work with me after hearing what I have to say. And yet, I think it bears saying. And also, at the end of this essay, I'm just going to tell you that I hope I'm mistaken. I'd really like to be. So I'm working in the performing arts field, and currently there are a number of executive-level openings available, high-level positions. It's an exciting time because we're all very well aware that our field is dominated by white, cisgendered leadership since its inception, and this is a time of opening opportunities, and so I've been encouraged to apply for many of them. And here's the first dangerous admission. I don't know if I want to work for you. I'm not sure I want to invest my considerable experience managing large-scale budgets, curating and directing hundreds of artists, negotiating and developing contracts, fundraising hundreds of thousands of dollars yearly, doing civic engagement and working with politicians and community leaders. I'm just not sure if I want to invest my time in transforming your community and institution into greater sustainability. I am unsure I want to invest my spirit in maintaining the legacy and wealth of historically white institutions. I know I can. I just don't know if I want to. And I can't know until I interview the institution and community, which can't happen until they decide they want to interview me in person, which has not been happening. Sometimes, I'll get a Skype interview or a phone call, but generally it's a letter saying, we don't need you. And so I tell myself a story because they obviously need someone like me. So I tell myself, I just need to work harder. My experience is not good enough. I just need more experience. And my excellent successes in the past that I had, they were not excellent enough because I've only been nominated for a Grammy. I never won one. And I just need to try harder. Or I tell myself I'm not presenting myself correctly. And so my resume, it looks more like an academic CV. And so I just need to reformat it so that I will be seen. Or I tell myself they could tell that I was not 100% confident about working for them, because that's true. I don't know if I want to lead until I have met the institution and the community and seen everyone in action, in process and product. And this takes presence. And I also tell myself that I'm not special. And I'm really grateful to know this. I tell myself they must be interviewing the people who are like me, who were better than me. And I know this is true, that there's a lot of people out there who are like me and better than me, and I think that's fabulous. I was recently at this theater conference last year where there were executive level leaders and board leaders, and they were all saying the same thing. They were like, we have to find a unicorn! That magical person that brings to the table 15 to 20 years of experience, who has both internal cultural competency from lived experience and also formal training, experience with organizations in transformation. They want a person who can also handle a large budget, curate seasons, fundraise, work with large numbers of artists. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm a unicorn. And then I looked around and I saw all these other women being like, you're totally unicorns. And I realized that they were not artistic directors. None of them. None of us were. And there were a bunch of us. And I know that we have the experience that's needed. I started my first theater company over 20 years ago when I was in high school. I ran a university program for a year at the George Washington University for the amount of my work study, $7.50 an hour, because I wanted the program to exist. And I had the skill sets and they let me. I've held executive level positions in non-hierarchical collectives, ensemble-based organizations, and as well as leadership positions in the theater companies that I founded when I was in New York, while simultaneously holding either lower level or mid-level positions at other performance institutions. Because I would take any job that I could. Admin, ushering, assisting, teaching, telemarketing, cleaning, anything I could get in. Because at the time I was a super cynical young person, and I figured none of these institutions are ever gonna, give a person like me power. And I just was like, well, I am just going to take advantage of this moment that I have in the room. I'm going to study how that person works a room and how that person works a problem and how that person manages the huge resources they are so lucky to have. And then I got lucky and was given the opportunity to lead and manage resources and to observe and actively participate in executive level hiring processes. And it was an amazing 10 years because, you can do magnificent things when you have a budget and the will and institutional power backing you. And also, I have to repeat, I'm not unique. There's a lot of amazing leaders in the field right now who have a similar constellation of experiences with large regionals and their own smaller independent institutions. And when you have the experience of being a mid or lower level in a large institution, it's a completely different set of skill sets that you create that, frankly, I think equip people better for management. And then you also have people who don't have the experience of managing huge budgets. I go, that's great. That just means that they are going to be thrifty and better at managing money. I know that we are here, which is why I truly want to be mistaken. I would love for the comment section below this video to be from the companies saying, you are wrong, Claudia. We actually had a huge pool. And our processes are so transparent that we will show you that pool right now. I want them to reveal a diverse pool of people vetting the candidates and participating in the interviews and making the final decisions. I want these institutions to reveal that when they decided to invest money in traveling people and staff time and speaking to them in person, that it was a pool that had gender, race, age, and ability diversity. I would love for the comments below this video to be from people with disabilities or people of color who have all been flown in for the interviews and offered the opportunity to turn the job down. Because I do wonder, is this why we don't get called in? Are they afraid we will see that they are not ready for us and turn them down? Are they afraid that our interview processes will reveal the places where they have gap, where they are failing to serve? Do they think they are being kind and not wasting our time? Do they know they couldn't hire someone like us? I really want to be wrong. Please tell me I am wrong, because this is important. I care deeply about our field, and I recognize my responsibility to it. These institutions, scattered across the United States, manage millions of dollars, and they tell the stories that shift or solidify our culture. And I just need somebody to tell me who will decide what stories are told, and who will decide who gets to embody those stories, and who will decide how all of those resources are being distributed. I just need to know that there are some people out there like me doing that work. Because I will be so disappointed if we squander this opportunity and replicate failed patterns of leadership from a narrow demographic and replicate the problems we have today. Please tell me I am wrong.